Hey everyone, welcome back to the Passive Buddies podcast. And today we've got an exciting one. We have covered part of it in a previous episode, so obviously go back and watch that one. But today we are going to cover how to monetize your email list. Brandon, what do you think about emails and making money from them? Yes or no?
Definitely yes. I think that, and I said this in a previous podcast, but I'll say it again because you guys probably haven't subscribed to the channel yet, and you probably should. But as far as what that saying was, is my mom always told me that money does not grow in trees, and it definitely does, because you can literally conjure up a money machine by having an email list and just by emailing your list. I think just the other day I launched another product. This was probably like a month ago. I launched a small little product. I think it was like $8, and it was super inexpensive. And I emailed my list, and I think I made like $800 that day, just by sending one email. And so that's like instant cash. It's like a little ATM machine that keeps on giving. And so if you have an email list, it is a great way to really just make a great deal of money. Actually, if you didn't listen to that podcast, you should, because it had some good insights where we talked about, and I did it that same day, and you commented to me about that, about how you can literally recycle content from Facebook and send it to your email list and provide value to them, because they might not be on your Facebook account. And so I took a great little post I made and sent it to my email list, and a lot of people loved it. Even Brian, he sent me a nice little message saying, "Hey, was it the email that you said from your Facebook post?" And I said, "Yes, it was." And so yeah, I mean, that's a great way to monetize. It's not a great way to monetize. It's your email list is a great way to make money by monetizing your email list.
Yeah, and obviously, like, there's different ways to leverage the content to support your email list, and I think that's what we more covered in that last episode.
Yeah.
So obviously, like, you created a lower ticket product? How much was that product that you sent out the other day?
It was like $8. It was super cheap.
So $8, and you got made about $800 on that. So you got 100 people sign up for $8, like that. Literally one day, it was like, hey, I want to give myself a pay rise today. Here's a low ticket product. Here's my email list. There's an offer. Boom, $800. I've just given myself a pay rise. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's just so golden, like, in terms of that sort of scenario. Now that is obviously one way to monetize your list, which is obviously create your own products and sell your own products. Which obviously Brandon does, I do. And then obviously there's other ways, like affiliate marketing's one, isn't it? Software is another. Like, you don't have to really own the product in 100%, or you don't have to create the product 100% in order to monetize your list in different ways. If you were talking about, like, for instance, like some of these podcast episodes, you send an email to your podcast episode, like, how would you look to monetize that email about that podcast episode? Let's put you on the spot.
So how would I monetize my podcast through my email list?
No, how would you monetize your email list by talking about your podcast?
So I'm trying to think here how you phrase that. So I'm trying to monetize my podcast through my email list.
So you're trying to make money talking about your podcast, but you're sending an email.
Yeah. So, I mean, I do this on my YouTube a lot. I will say that for instance, an episode's coming out. Definitely check out our upcoming episode, or I have you had a guest on recently, or you were on a guest on a podcast recently, and you can email your list saying, "Hey, I have this amazing guest who has done XYZ or XYZ, and you guys should definitely check that out." And if you're monetized on your podcast or your YouTube channel, it's just going to boost that monetization. Not only that, but say you have a affiliate program product that you are teaching about, you can make it a teaching event. And you do this really great with the AI email list tool. And if you guys didn't watch that episode, you guys definitely should, because it's amazing to get your copy done really, really quickly, your podcast episodes done, your SEO, all that stuff, really, your blog posts really done really quickly. But you teach about it and you show how it works, and then you can actually have someone purchase that. So you can email your list saying, "Hey, I am teaching how to use AI technology in your email or in your blogging. If you say you have a blog, email like audience and teaching them, say, hey, check out my podcast or my YouTube video about this. And they will go think it's a masterclass, and then they'll sign up for, at least some of them will sign up for this amazing tool. So there's so many ways. And I mean, you can monetize it the opposite way, where you're teaching and people come to the YouTube video or the podcast, they subscribe to, say, a newsletter. You say at the end of the video, if you want more cool tips like this, subscribe to my email list, my newsletter that I'm going to be sending out a new topic every single week. So definitely subscribe to our newsletter, and then they're on your email list. So they're kind of interchangeable back and forth, where, I mean, you're building lists. I mean, that's what we do as marketers and entrepreneurs, is we're growing our list so that we can keep giving value to our audience. If that's on YouTube, if that's a podcast, if that's on Facebook, if that's Facebook groups, if that's your email. But your email is really the best monetization, because you own that list. If this happened maybe a couple months ago, but I, for instance, was reporting a scam in crypto, and the scam, they had all these bots that reported me, and they shut down my YouTube channel for like 2 weeks, and I couldn't do anything about it. Facebook, we're fighting with the algorithm all the time, so not everyone sees your posts. YouTube, I mean, we're also fighting with the algorithm and SEO and all that. So having an email list is hugely important, because we're able to control that list. And we can say, for instance, that provider shuts down, you can download, I mean, make sure you keep track of your emails and have them like on the cloud, where you can download them and then save them, because then you can go to the next email provider. Say if for whatever reason Gmail shuts down, or they go through, I know there's a lot of regulation going on right now with like the UK and Apple and all the different things. So say if Google decides to get shut down or whatever, you can take that email list, because you have their email addresses, and you can go to the next email provider. So I think it's super important to grow your email list and be able to use it as a way to monetize not only your email list, but like your YouTube channel, your podcast, your Facebook group.
As you say, it's a great way to add fuel to the fire, isn't it?
Yes.
So what you've identified there is you can make money directly from sending an email, and you can make money indirectly by fueling a fire that's talking about something else. And
Yes.
as you say, like, I do this quite a lot. So obviously I'll promote a course, I'll promote a product, or whatever I'm doing, that will go to my email list. As you say, I will also use my email list to fuel fire to my YouTube, which then increases the views, which increases the views on the affiliate links below, etc. Or obviously, once I am monetized, it'll increase the Google AdSense on there. So using the email list to fuel obviously the YouTube, which then obviously, if I'm talking about, for instance, I sent an email out the other week about Write Sonic, which is the AI copywriter we spoke about, which gave more views to my YouTube, which then brought in more sales through Write Sonic as people wanted those extra bonuses. Same that I do for ClickFunnels. So as you say, it's a multi-purpose tool, isn't it? You can send out to other social platforms that you're doing a promotion on. People can watch and then obviously decide and listen to the pitch at the end. Obviously, you get that monetization that way, or you can send a direct email. Even for instance, like one of the podcast episodes where we spoke about a book. Like obviously, we can take that book, go get an Amazon affiliate link, put that in the email, and we can monetize just through a reference. So, and the same in obviously your blogs. If you put out a blog, use your email list to fuel the fire, as well as if you're promoting other things or promoting things that you're doing. There's so many different ways you can make money online. Using that list can either make it directly or indirectly. And I think just you using it in the right way, so it's not always the same. So it's not always just pushing that, for instance, that yours was the $8 product. We're not always pushing that $8 product. Like you mix it up and send people to your podcast, send people to your YouTube channel, so they don't feel like they're permanently getting pitched to. But they are to a degree, because obviously our podcast talks about joining Facebook groups, it talks about joining, buying books and stuff like that. So we're recommending things as value that people can then obviously we can make a kickback at. But it's a soft call to action, and it's a soft sale rather than a hard sale. And mixing up between the two, you will keep your reader, keep your subscriber effectively on their toes. That allows you not to become, or them to become, numb to your marketing message.
Well, and I think it's what you just said about previously about adding fuel to the fire is I monetize on Facebook, but if there's little, I guess, timelines, like I think it's like YouTube, you have kind of 24 hours to 48 hours to push content to. So the more views you get, the more it ranks on the algorithm so that more people see it. So being able to send say you have a really good video that you're really excited about that you think more people should view, not only are you emailing your list to get them to watch the video, that's going to help you rank higher on the Explorer of YouTube or the front page of it, which is then more organic views are going to be seen. And that's going to then, it's like a feedback loop. So then if you were saying, hey, if you want more like this content, go ahead and check out our newsletter and subscribe to our email list. And then more people are going to be on your email list, which is going to create that loop in your business, and it's just going to build on top of each other, and it's going to be that compound effect. So I think that's super important to, like you said, change it up, be able to, I think Gary Vee does left jab, 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 right hook. So you're value, 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 and a sale. So that way you're constantly giving them value, and it's 3 or 4 times or 5 times as much value as it is as a take. So I think it's super important to have both of those loops in there, because not only are you providing value, but you're building your email list, which is then you're emailing your list to tell them to go watch this video, to push the algorithm, and you're creating this feedback loop, which is just going to help grow your business even more.
As you say, like obviously leveraging together makes it work 10 times more. Obviously, like you spend so much time creating a YouTube video. Obviously, we're probably going to spend about 20 minutes creating this one. And then from there, obviously, you want to be able to maximize the ability. So obviously, for instance, you've got YouTube SEO, which will help us get found in the keyword searches. Then you've got your browse features, etc. Then obviously we'll take this podcast, we'll write up a write-up. It'll go on the podcast, the audio version. It'll go probably as an embedded on a blog, and like using those different things. And then that all helps build your email list, which then helps like put it back on the views. And that constant cycle, obviously, we'll put it on Instagram, or we'll push people from Instagram, we'll push people from Facebook, and just using all of those. Obviously, as they go round that circle, we'll be collecting email addresses along the way. And then again, it just keeps fueling the whole system, the whole ecosystem of marketing that allows you then to double down, allows you to monetize on all these different platforms. But as long as you're growing that email list, that will be your main provider. Like I've spoke about it on a few different episodes, but one of my main clients for the agency has 100,000 followers on TikTok, 4,000 on Instagram, and a list of about 3,000. And every time we do a promotion, the email list always wins in terms of how many sales we get, into how much interest we get, because they are inside your email list. And they obviously, the people who do read your emails, etc., they spend more quality time with you. It's the same with YouTube. They spend more quality time with you than TikTok, than Instagram, where your natural thing is to swipe and get away from the content piece that's just been created. Emails, if you open that email, you're dedicated to reading at least half of it, which then allows you to spend that more time with them, and then allows you to capitalize and monetize from that extensive relationship rather than the swipe and go scenario. So 100%, it builds that long-term relationship that then obviously allows you to capitalize and make the money.
Yeah, I also think like you hit it right on the head there. I think that the email list is just a higher quality of a lead source, because with YouTube, even though it's intent marketing where they're searching for a particular fix or a particular problem that they need solving, a lot of the time, some of these like YouTube, not YouTube, like Instagram, like TikTok, a lot of these are fake accounts or botted accounts or spam accounts. I mean, I get comments on my YouTube channel all the time about, Rocky saved me thousands of dollars and blah, 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 blah. You should check out his YouTube channel. And obviously it's just a scam or a spam account just to get people like, Rocky Hacks is the best on Instagram. And that's like the name of their profile. And then it's like, oh my, I don't know. It's just spam. And you see it all the time on big YouTube channels, but the quality is not as high as say an email list, because you're not getting really like spam emails. You're getting people for the most part that are interested in your content, or competitors doing research. It just really depends. But the email list is also a micro commitment versus them just swiping or solving a problem. They really haven't committed to really anything because they've given you their email address. So in doing so, you're definitely getting a higher quality. Plus, it's a leverage point. I mean, I talk about this in like real estate. I mean, in a real sense, like an email list is a piece of real estate or an asset that you can leverage to make more money in other things, like YouTube, like your podcast, like your Facebook group. So I think that having an email list is huge because it is a huge asset for your business.
I completely agree. Honestly, like, because people have bought businesses just because of the list, just because it's got a specific list of customers, 10, 20, 30, 40,000 people. Like, people have bought that list. People have come up to and offered sponsorship deals and brand deals because of the size of your list. Like, and the same with the podcast and the same with the YouTube channel. Like, you will get pitched all the time if you have a decent following of the right target audience that you can monetize in so many different ways. Like, people will come to you and go, hey, I know you've got a really good active list. Can you promote my product, or can you literally just talk about my product? And you don't have to promote it, you don't have to affiliate it, but just talk about, I'll give you 10 grand to send this email to your list of your perspective of this product. And brand deals, sponsorships, affiliate links, like all of these different things can be used inside your email list if you monetize it, if you grow it the right way. You don't buy the list because obviously the quality is ridiculously bad. Plus 9 times out of 10 they put spam accounts in there, or like bot accounts that capture the spam. So then you can easily get flagged. So don't buy a list, build it organically with paid ads, and build that list of people, build that loyal following, and you can make money in more ways than you can ever imagine just with that solid email list.
So I will have a different viewpoint on buying a list. When he's saying buying a list, he's not saying go buy solo ads, because those are bad lists or they've been hit so many times. Don't buy a list that way. But if you look at how important a list is, Facebook could have created Instagram overnight. I mean, they have the developers, they have the tools, so they literally could have created Instagram overnight. But why they bought Instagram for like billions of dollars is because of their list. They had millions and billions of people that were using their product, which was Instagram, and all those data points. And they decided to buy Instagram because the list was super important. The data points, the users were super important. It wasn't the technology. The technology is super easy to recreate. I mean, we have a software team that has redeveloped software pretty easily. So it's not the software, it's the list that's so important. So that's why big companies are buying smaller companies, is because they have the list that's involved is so valuable and they're able to monetize that list.
Yeah, good clarification there, because when I was talking about buying lists, like solo ads and buying clicks, or people literally go, hey, I've got 10,000 email addresses, right, do you want to buy them? And you don't know how they've been acquired. You don't know the quality, whether it's just an info art or like even whether it's a real email. So those are the type of lists that I say don't buy. But yeah, in terms of business to business, in terms of like buying those lists or buying those companies that include that list, that is obviously what big businesses do. And for instance, and there's not a problem with that, but like for the people who are listening, they're probably not at that stage. But that is a concept that works massively. But for instance, if you're at the starting point or like just getting up to that part of the journey about building a list, if people offer, hey, I've got 5,000 email addresses you can buy, probably say no. And again, solo ads, like personal opinion, I hate them. I think they're crap. I see a lot of people fail on solo ads. So for instance, like, don't go and buy clicks. That audience has to be authentic. You have to grow that audience yourself. And that's how you monetize properly, rather than like buying a list, losing all your money and having a list full of dead people.
Yep. And I will leave you guys with this. If we look at recent news with Elon Musk buying Twitter, his big stink about not buying Twitter was because Twitter said that the accounts only had like 5% of fake accounts. And with his research, it was much higher. And that's how he was trying to get out of the deal at one point, or at least drop the deal in a sense or bring kind of it to the service that maybe they weren't being as truthful about how good their accounts were, because they were saying that it was less than 5% and it was much higher than that. And so that's why it's so important to have a solid list, because the money is in the list or the users or whatever. And so like you said, if you're starting out, it's best to grow your 100 or 1,000 true fans yourself and grow it, and don't buy lists that are garbage, because that's not going to make you money. And if you look at the richest person in the world, he knows that the money's in the list. And if it's mostly spam accounts, then it's not worth his investment.
100%. And I think that sums it up nicely in terms of how important a list actually is. As you say, if Elon Musk is looking at particularly buying a company just for its list and its capabilities of monetization, and obviously now there's an argument in terms of the price about it, that shows you how important a list actually is, guys, and how you can leverage it in so many different ways in order to make that freedom income that you are looking for. So
it's important.
Perfect, yeah.
Yeah, I think that was great. I think that we summed up why a list and how to monetize it is so important, and why you shouldn't just go by sheer numbers, but the quality of the actual list itself.
100%, mate. So thank you so much, guys, for everyone tuning in today, watching right till the end. Hope you've really enjoyed it. Don't forget, like, subscribe, comment. Greatly appreciated. Really helps the channel or the podcast out. And I will see you on the next episode.
Peace.